This is Michael Coffey, pastor of First English Lutheran Church in Austin, Texas, and this is another Tiny Desk sermon. This is a chance to look at the readings for this coming Sunday and give some first thoughts on them. It's been a little while. I've been traveling and busy with all kinds of things, and it's good to be doing this again. This coming Sunday is Proper 24 or Lectionary 29C, and the gospel reading, which I'm going to focus on, is from Luke 18. It says, "Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray always and not to lose heart. He said, in a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor had respect for people. In that city there was a widow who kept coming to him and saying, 'Grant me justice against my opponent.' For a while he refused. But later he said to himself, 'Though I have no fear of God and no respect for anyone, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice, so that she may not wear me out by continually coming.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. And yet, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?'" Interesting parable, because it doesn't usually get introduced saying, here's what the parable's about, and then end with a question like that. It's an interesting setting. So in this parable, and in this text, we hear this challenging issue of not losing heart in the pursuit of justice. The word to lose heart is to also be worn down, wearied, to want to give up. And it's very tempting in our lives of trying to make things right, in our own lives and in our communities and in our world, and to see that God's justice and mercy are enacted. It can be very wearying. We can lose heart pretty easily after long periods of feeling like nothing is changing. Nothing ever changes. History seems to be the same thing over and over and over again. So, parable is a challenge to us who feel like we are in this struggle to figure out why we keep doing what we're doing. Why do we not lose heart? Or when we do lose heart, what assumptions did we have going into it? So Jesus tells us most strongly that in this parable, if an unjust judge who does the right thing simply because he's tired of being badgered, or apparently, as the translation could say, because he doesn't want this widow to come give him a black eye, he's tired of being in the fight, in the struggle, then how much more will God, who is not tired of being in the fight and the struggle, who is merciful, and whose goal is justice in this world, how much more can we depend on God to hear and respond? So the dilemma is, how do we trust that that is what God is doing? And that seems to be a daily negotiation in our lives of faith, and prayer, and action, that somehow God is responding. At the end, Jesus says God will respond quickly to people's cries, those who cry out in need and in crying out for justice. That may sound like something should happen right away, but it also may mean suddenly, as if we may pray and work for something good for a long, long time. That seems like the change is never going to come. But then suddenly things somehow turn around. That may be seen as the work of God. So you and I have to keep negotiating with each other and with God how we stay in this fight, in this struggle, how we have the strength and determination of a widow who knows she has nothing left to lose and probably nothing else to live for except to be in the struggle, to be in the fight, to be part of God's work of creating a world of justice and mercy, so that we and our neighbors can all have the fullness of life as God intends. So we have to encourage one another and stay in the struggle so we do not lose heart. Not because we are the reason, but because God is so trustworthy and so determined to make this world right. Peace to all.